time working on the car. Got a bit done, got the dash cluster, everything is together on the front, and knocked out all the wiring last night as well, so it's looking pretty good. Oi! Move outside so I don't have the dog barking. But yeah, dash cluster is good to go in now, just got to wire up the other bits. Also finished off the front engine harness. That wasn't too bad, just had to chuck a plug in there. Was at it. Went up to see Troy. He finished off the stub axle plates for me. So they are R35 GDR to R200 adapters. Had Jared laser cut me some flanges, Troy pressed and welded them on. So they're good. I've actually got the driver's side in already. I've got a wheel on there at the moment, but you can see it's in there. The axle's not actually bolted in. Just trying wheels on again to work out the offset. Still not 100% sure. Looks like it's going to be 18 by 9.5 plus 38 or thereabouts. But we got all the bolts for the axles ready to go. Just got to cut them down. 12 of them there. Not too bad. A lot of batteries ready to be charged. But for now, I'm going to grab the sander and get into the bay, I reckon. Now, that and chucking the other axle. A lot of little jobs, just a couple of things, just smash them out. Probably not that much filming of actually doing stuff. We'll see how we go. But yeah, really just want to get into it, get a lot of it done. Pretty excited to actually drive the thing now. Losing motivation to film more than anything. Well, got a bit done off camera. Like I said, wasn't really interested in filming much today. Managed to get that axle nearly bolted in, a couple more bolts just to do it. I was just lying on the ground before, wearing myself out. Not really in the mood to lie down either. Really not in the mood for the car that much. But I hit the issue where the passenger's axle is actually a touch too long. So there, so we're looking at the current resting height as 543, needs to be 490. So just going to look into some options on what to do there. I'll have a talk to some drive shaft shops tomorrow. But I've got the wheel at pretty much the resting height of what it'll be. Obviously sticks out a bit too much. It's a 17.9 plus 15. That proof of concept of what other size wheels I'll be running. But it allowed me to put a measuring rod in there with a little spacer to act as if it was sitting on the diff properly. Need a bit of tape so I can see the mark. Measure up the proper resting length for the axle. It is there. Going up to the front, everything has been final sanded, including the Rio. Just about to start, well, started masking it. Got to redo the bits on the firewall, as I just had it blocked up so dust didn't fill up the car when I was sanding. So I'll go over them. I was making big progress, but hitting little hurdles which I kind of knew was going to happen. And tidying up the garage at the same time, so I've got the engine under the cover, gearbox under a cover, subframe over there under a cover too. I'll probably take that outside tomorrow, give it a big pressure wash, just get it cleaned up, probably take it to the powder coated as well. Why not? The rear's one's done, well, I'll make the front look a bit nicer as well. Seems easy enough, just trying to through my head, trying to work out what else I'm going to get done. Mainly this axle has stuffed me. Gonna mask off the front of the car anyway very shortly, so we can get some primer on it tonight. That way, spend the rest of the week sanding it down. So pretty much figured if the shaft's the wrong length, why not pull it right down? So I have. That way I can take some proper measurements, work out what the spline counts are, take it into an axle shop tomorrow and see what I can do. But yeah, it's ready to go. I've got measurements in the car. As for the car, she is masked up. Back's got a little bit of a patch on the bum. Otherwise good to go. Measurements down there. And yeah, we're good for primer. Just got to have a talk to Corey, work out how he wants to do the Rio. I'll chuck some plastic over the welders as well, just to be safe. But yep, next up, some primer. It's going to be good. Still trying to work out really what I'm going to do about the axle. It's taking my mind more than anything, but hopefully I'll find a solution easy enough. But it'd be nice to see some primer, make me feel a bit more motivated as well. Primer. We've had Corey over here today putting primer on the base, so polyester primer, same with the front Rio. Got about 3 coats on there, so we've got a heap of wet sanding to do. But yeah, filled in all the little pinholes, all that. Really good primer. Well, that's what I've been told. I got no idea. I'm no painter. I just do what I'm told I have to do. That's what I've got now. Just ticking away in the boot for a little bit. Got to work out where I'm going to put this battery stand. Holds this battery here. At the moment, that's where I'm thinking. Ideally, I thought I'll put it up there, but two things happen. There's bumps, or it can go right off to the side there, which kind of works, but then there's a fuel tank underneath of it, which is a bastard, and I don't want to drop the fuel tank out to drill some holes to put the riv nuts in for the bolts. Just 4 bolts to hold it in, and you can also see there the bolts are floating a lot, so that's why I'm thinking down here utilize one of those factory bracing bolts potentially and just drill the other 3 holes out. And I'm still umming and ahhing where I put it, maybe even cut that corner off and use all 4 bits for that. I don't think that brace would actually do that much for the floor. It's too much in the way. I think it's only a corner brace there, so I could just modify that so that battery bracket sits flat. Off to the side there, it's never going to be in the way. Nice and easy to get cables to. If I have to jump start it, it's easy. Simple enough. And the battery's small and doesn't really get in your face. Something to think about as I lie in bed tonight. The joys, isn't it? I mean, that's the worst thing I've got to work out. I've taken the axle to an axle shop, so expecting probably 2 weeks I'll have that rear axle back. And he's also confirmed that my tail shaft should be okay at the length it is. I was nervous about running it fully extended, which I'll show you. Just didn't think you could do that, but they've confirmed that it's okay. So it'd pretty much be right out there or thereabouts, which I thought was a no-go, but yeah, apparently all good, as you can't pull it right out. But it's a bit of a relief. I need to double check that it is the right length still when I put the engine and box back in. The box arrived just before as well, which is Tomei. That is the baffle kit for the GR sump. It means I can whip that sump off and get that fitted up. That's the first Tomei part I've ever bought. I don't know if that's exciting or not, but it's always nice to get a box from a different company. So I reckon that'll close me out for the day, as there's not much else I can do in this heat. A few parts I'm packaging up to send away to get modified and then get them back so they'll suit the S15 better. But we'll update when I get them back and when they're ready to go into the car.